It was a bright, sunny spring day in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All of the trees are in bloom and there isn't a cloud in the sky. The football field is greener than ever and has painted lines. The field was wonderful and majestic and was the place of a very important tryout in front of NFL scouts. Stevens Point was hosting a group of 10 quarterbacks that would be looked at by the NFL scouts to see if they were NFL material. UWSP's head coach, Urban Meyer, was running the workout for the players.
Okay, guys, come on out and let's get this thing started.
9 of the quarterbacks came out just as told. They started to warm up their arms. But one of the quarterbacks was still missing, and Coach didn't know what was taking him so long.
Come on, Tim, we're all waiting for you. You don't want to hold up this whole thing.
Coach Meyer went into the locker room and forced Tim Tebow out, as he was late to show up to the event and wasn't ready to go out yet like the other quarterbacks.
Come on, Tim, get out there and show them what you got. You're already late, and we have some very important people here to watch you play.
Tebow ran out on the field and started throwing and warming up with the other quarterbacks. It was evident right away that Tebow was different than all the other quarterbacks. He threw left-handed. The motion in which he threw could not be described as anything else but ugly and awkward. He also had the build of more like a running back or tight end, but not a quarterback. Despite all of these things against him, Tebow still managed to perform and win games. At UWSP, he never lost a game in his college career, and despite his faults, was a winner.
He may look ugly when he's throwing, but that kid can play football. Guys, come over here and I will introduce you to our honored guest that came here today.
Coach Meyer was talking about ESPN analyst and NFL scout Todd McShay, who is respected in the media and in the NFL as one of the better judges of future NFL players. McShay went down the line of young players being very friendly and complimentary of them, and then got to the end of the line, where Tebow was.
Aren't you an odd one? You throw left-handed, your throwing motion takes way too long, and you should probably be a fullback in the NFL. Why are you even here? All of these other quarterbacks have a future in the NFL, but you would be lucky to even get a chance to be a backup in the league.
Hey now, Todd. He has been my quarterback for 4 years and has never lost a game for me. He may not look the part, but he is a winner. Isn't that all that matters in the NFL? I think that one day he might develop into someone who can win a Super Bowl.
Well, the other quarterbacks certainly could develop into something, but I don't know about that one. Anyway, let's get these drills going. I want to see what these players have to offer.
So the players went on with their workout in front of the scouts, but Tebow was made fun of every chance the others got. The other players would poke fun at Tebow and make fun of his throwing motion. The receivers running routes for Tebow would intentionally drop passes to make Tebow look bad. Even Coach Meyer was harassing Tebow. By the end of the workout, Tebow felt like he was at an all-new low. He didn't even know if he would be chosen in the upcoming NFL draft. It is now the NFL draft weekend, and it is already the 5th round in the draft, and Tebow is still at home, waiting for a phone call from an NFL team to pick him.
They're afraid to draft me because the way I play the game is ugly, but I can still win like any other quarterback.
It wasn't until the late 7th round when Tebow finally got the call from an NFL team that drafted him. The Denver Broncos took a chance on Tebow with their last pick in the draft. Tebow talked on the phone to head coach John Fox the next day.
Hey, Tim, just wanted to talk and tell you exactly why we took a chance on you with this late pick.
Okay, Coach, I just wanted to thank you and the whole organization for taking a chance on me as a quarterback, and I won't let you down.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Tim. We really didn't pick you with the intention of having you as our quarterback. Your throwing motion doesn't make you project as a quarterback, and we think that you have the frame to be a fullback in our offense.
But that's not how I play. I'm not a fullback, I'm a quarterback. I have to stay true to what I really am, because that is what has worked for me before.
So Tim reported to training camp, where the mockery of his ability did not get any better. The Broncos' starting quarterback, Kyle Orton, accepted Tebow as a quarterback, but still mocked his abilities and thought of him as a little less than a person that could assist him.
Tim, all we want you to do is take reps against the defense, so then I don't have to get beaten up by practicing too much.
It seemed that Tebow was just being used by his current team as a punching bag during practices and during the preseason. It was finally the regular season, and Tebow was buried on the quarterback depth chart. But with an injury to Orton, the backup, Brady Quinn was forced into the starting spot. Quinn struggled, and soon the fans were cheering for Tebow. Tim finally got his chance in a game against Miami.
All right, Tim, you're getting the start this week for us. God help us.
Don't worry, Coach, I won't let the team down.
Yeah, good one, Tim. Just don't mess anything up. We have the defense to keep us in the game. Just hand the ball off to our running backs and don't screw up.
Tim did what Coach asked for the first 3 quarters of the game, and the team was losing. In the 4th, Tebow finally decided to take the game into his own hands and led an amazing comeback for the Broncos, who ended up winning the game.
I want to congratulate the defense, the receivers, the running backs, and most importantly, the offensive line for winning this game.
It seemed like no matter what Tim did, he wouldn't get the respect that he deserved as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Tebow and the Broncos went on to win 7 of their next 11 games and made the playoffs, but that still wasn't good enough for people to get off Tebow's back. Now it was the media's turn to disrespect and make fun of Tebow. And the main culprit was NFL analyst and former player Merrill Hodge. This kid just can't be a quarterback in the NFL. First off, he's lefty, which is not an advantage in the NFL, and then you look at his throwing motion, which takes way too much time to follow through. He just won't make it in this league. He should be a backup fullback. Heck, he might not even deserve to be in the NFL. It seemed like no one was in Tim's corner. He was winning his games. Even though the way the team was winning might not be pretty, they were still winning. Tebow's next challenge would come against the defending AFC champs in the first round of the playoffs. In typical Tebow fashion, the Broncos were down. Came back to force overtime, and in overtime, on the first play, Tebow completed a perfect pass down the field, which resulted in a touchdown. The Broncos won the game. You would think that Tebow was on top of the world, but that could be farther from the truth. The next day, Merrill Hodge was on ESPN again and had nothing nice to say about Tebow. The Broncos won that game because of a good defense, good offensive line play, and a good job of receivers and running backs making plays. Any quarterback could have been in that game and still won. There should be no credit going to Tim Tebow. He is not the reason this team has been doing well. The media blitz on Tebow was still not to its high point. The Broncos would lose their next game in the playoffs to the Patriots. This is when the media really started to get on Tebow. With a loss in the playoffs, Tebow had finally fit what everyone thought he was. Not an NFL-level quarterback. To make matters worse, the Broncos, not being impressed enough with Tebow in his playing time, signed All-Pro quarterback Peyton Manning to replace Tebow as the starter. This was the final straw for Tebow. He wanted out no matter what.
I don't care where I go or where you send me. I just want out of here. I just need to leave this terrible place and get a chance to start all over again.
The Broncos front office did Tebow one final favor by trading him away to another team. Tebow was now a member of the New York Jets, a team that had success in the past, but Tebow knew that they wouldn't accept him for who he was. They would try to change him. After the news was made official, Tebow called the Jets head coach, Rex Ryan.
Hey, Coach. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to play for this organization. I know that you will probably want me to play running back or tight end, and I guess I can do that.
Tim, that's not why we brought you in here. We don't want you to line up at running back or tight end. We got you to compete for quarterback, and we expect you to be able to get this job done. We expect great things from you, Tim. Great things.
The awkward quarterback finally found the place where he belonged. The Tebow-led Jets would go on to win multiple Super Bowls, and Tebow would be looked at as one of the most successful quarterbacks in history. It just goes to show that just because you may be different than everyone else, that doesn't mean you can't do the same things that others can do, and possibly do them better.